Well, hello, welcome back to my channel, Panda Crochet. Today I'm going to teach you how to work in rounds and teach you how to make a simple beanie, and also going to give some written pattern instructions. Alright, so let's get started. So what we're going to do today is called a magic circle. You could do a chain 4 and then slip stitch into the first stitch and then start your first round. But I taught that in a previous video if you rather do it that way. But today we're going to learn how to do a magic circle. Sorry. So it's basically the same way of doing a slip knot. You have your strings parallel, twist it, go through, but instead of grabbing the long piece, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the short one. And you're just going to pull it through. Just like that. What this does is you're able to pull the loose string and tighten that hole, which will make more apparent once I do around why we do that. Alright, so today I'm also going to be working with my 6.5 hook because my 5 hook is, my J hook is kind of being used right now for another project, so it's not really able to use. So I'm using the 6 today. So once you have your magic circle, most patterns are going to call for 12 double crochets. So how you start this is you're going to put your hook into the hole and you're going to grab your string and pull it around. Oops. Sorry. And pull it through. And so now you're going to work your chain. So we're doing double crochet, so we're going to go up 2, so that's 1 and wrap around, pull through 2. Alright, so now we're going to do, this is going to count as your first chain, so this is going to count as 1, so we have to do 11 more double crochets. And how you do a double crochet is you wrap around, go through that hole, grab your yarn, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your chain. You're going to wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. So now we have 2 double crochets. So we're going to do 10 more. So wrap around, go through, pull. Now you have 3, wrap around, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So now we have 3 double crochets. So one more time, wrap around, go through the hole, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, oops, pull through 2. Alright, so go ahead and have a total of 12 and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I got my 12 stitches here, as you can see. If your project kind of looks more like this, it's okay. I'll show you what we do to fix that, but what we're going to do real quick is we're going to slip stitch to join to make it into a circle. So what you're going to do is where we did our chain right here, you're going to go up where these 2 loops are. The easy way to do it is find your first 2 stitches, and it's the very top, right on top, those 2 stitches on top. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your hook in those top 2 stitches, make sure you put them through both, push it through, and then you're going to yarn over. And now what you're going to do is you're going to pull, because this is a slip stitch, all you're going to do is pull through all of them. So we're going to pull through and pull through, just like that. So now what you want to do is you want to grab your yarn, the loose one at the beginning, and you're just going to pull on it gently. Just pull tight, just like so. And see, now it is a circle and that hole in there is closed up. Alright. Alright, so now what I want to show you real quick is I wrote a little bit of a pattern to teach you a little bit of written patterns. This isn't exactly how written patterns are, but it's just a simple version to kind of help learn how to do written patterns. I will have a video later on. Oops, sorry about that. I will have a video later on explaining more in detail, but just to give a baseline. So what we just did is we did a magic circle. So when you see MC, that's what they want you to do, the magic circle, what I just taught you at the beginning. So now row 1, it says 12 DC, which means you do, like we just did, the 12 double crochets. And generally in patterns, I only wrote it on the first one. You will see right next to it a little number. That number is going to be how many stitches in total you have on your row or on your rounds. So that way if you mess up or you think you did something wrong, you could just go back and count the stitches, make sure they match, and then you're on your way. And so as you can see, some of these are in parentheses. Anytime you see parentheses in a pattern, it means it's a repeat, which means, see, if you see here, it says 2 double crochets, 2 DC. DCs mean double crochets. Now what that means is now we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch. See here, you see 2 double crochet and then 1 double crochet. That means this is going to be in one stitch, this is going to be in the next, and then you repeat it. I will show, of course, how to do it. So what we're going to do is 2 double crochet, and we're going to repeat it until the end of the row. So as usual, you want to go up to the level, so we're going to yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. Now y'all see that stitch. You can either do your chain here or your stitch in this one or in the back one. I personally like to go into the back one. Either way, you're going to have to work in it if you do it at the beginning of the row or the end. I just feel like it looks a little neater. But like I said, if you feel more comfortable, you can do it in this stitch here. But I kind of like to do it in this back one right here. So wrap around, whichever way makes you feel more comfortable. Stick it in, and then pull through. Now you have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. So like the pattern I just showed you, it says do 2 double crochets. That means do 2 double crochets in one stitch, which is what we've done here. There's 1, 2, and in one stitch. Now like the pattern it said 1 double crochet. So that means in this very next stitch here, we're just going to put 1 or 2 in it. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong pattern. We're doing 2 double crochets in each. So that means in this next stitch, we do the repeat. And we're going to do 1, then wrap around, go through that same stitch we just worked in, and do another double crochet. So now you have 4 stitches within 2, and you want to do that all the way around. So do the repeat again. 1, 2. You should have 24 stitches by the end. So we're doubling it from 12 to 24. So I'll do it one more time with y'all. So 1 and 2. So do that all the way to the end, and I will meet you at the end of the round. Okay, well, I am at the end of my row. I would like to mention before I start, the way how I showed you written pattern is one way that it's done, with the 2 double crochet and then the 1 double crochet. Sometimes what you might see is INC next to it, so you'll see INC, so you might just see DCINC. that means increase. This is the same thing as this. Double crochet increase is 2 DCs in 1 stitch. ST means stitch. See how I put in 2 stitches, 3 stitches? So double crochet increase means 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. Just wanted to mention that real quick. Like I said, I will have another video explaining all of it again in more detail. Okay, so anyway, now that we're at the end, we're going to do like we did in the previous round and do a slip stitch. Remember, find your first 2 stitches and the one that meets in the middle on top. You want to stick through both and then slip stitch. And there you go, we've done 2 rounds. Doing rounds is really good because you can do round blankets. Don't get creeped out by my little doll head, but I'm still in the process of making it. But as you can see, I did rounds here to make the doll head. I got the hair covered up. And of course, beanies and stuff like that. Alright, let's go on the next round. So as I showed you earlier, the next round should be 2 double crochet and then 1 double crochet or double crochet increase in double crochet. So let's go up. 1, 2. Remember, you need to do 2 stitches, so we're going to go in the back here. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Alright, so now we did 2 double crochets. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet in this very next stitch. And now we're going to do the repeat all the way down, which means we do this again. So that means in the next stitch, we do 2 double crochets in that same stitch. So 1, 2. So there's 2 in that stitch. So we did 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to do 1 in the next stitch. So push through there. So 2, 1, 2, 1. Let's do it again. Do 2 in the very next stitches. 1, 2, and then 1 in the very next stitch. Right here. 1. So do that all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back there. Alright, so I'm at the end here with just 1 more stitch. I just would like to say something about it before I did this last one. Generally, when you do a repeat pattern, unless it tells you otherwise, you will always want to end in the opposite. So here we have 2 stitches in 1, and since the pattern calls for 2, 1, 2, 1, the stitch right next to the other side should be 1 also. So if you happen to have 2 double crochets in this last stitch, then that means you might have messed up somewhere, put an extra double crochet instead of doing the pattern. You can always just kind of tell, so you can tell there's 2 stitches in there, and you can tell there's 1, 2, but you want to end it. If you did 2 stitches first, you want to end it with 1 stitch in this chain. So I would like to also explain something. I have here a hat chart because sometimes, you know, people's heads aren't all the same, and also your hook size also matters. For example, I'm working with a pretty big hook right now, so you can see the stitches are pretty big, and I'm using my 6. This one I used a 3 or 2 milliliter, and I am doing the exact same, but instead of doing 12, I've done 6, and then I still did 2 double crochets, then 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. But as you can tell, how much smaller these stitches are compared to these. So hook size matters, and so when I'm making a hat, I kind of like to go off this chart. You can just look them up on Google. And you know, you can just measure your hat size. So here it says the head measurement. This is how big you want the bottom part of your hat to be. Most adults is about, you know, 20 inches, 21 inches. And then the crown size. So this here is what I measure this part, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep increasing stitches until we get it as wide as we want. Then once you get it as wide as you want, then we're just going to do one single crochet in each one, and that will make it kind of lay straight down. I will explain that more. But I had my, here it is, measuring. So all you want to do is, since I'm going to do the regular adult size, we want it to be about, you know, 6.5 to 7 inches. Obviously this is not going to be big enough for it yet, but all you do is kind of measure it out. Just make sure. Like I said, I knew that was not going to be big enough. Generally we do about maybe 4 or 5 rows of increases before we start going down with our hats. But it also depends on the hook size. You might have to do increases more, which all you do is just keep adding 1 stitch. Alright, so I'll show you. You'll understand that in a minute. So let's slip stitch into that top stitch. Just like that. Now on the next row, what we're going to do is 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, and then and then an increase, which means we're going to go up 2, put that double crochet in that same stitch as your chain to make it have 2 double crochets, or an increase in 1 stitch. And now in the next 2 stitches we do 1 single crochet. That means in the next stitch put 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch we put 1 double. It's pretty easy to remember, like how I was saying a minute ago. You just keep adding a stitch. This is what I mean. When you want to increase, make the hat wider, but you know you won't want it to increase, and then all you got to do is add 1 stitch here. So the next row we're going to do 3 stitches and then an increase, then 1, 2, 3, and then the next row we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next row it's 1, 2, 3, 5, increase until you get it as wide as you need it to be. And then once you get it that wide, you want to you want to make sure it's wide enough to fit over your head. Then you're just going to do 1 single in every single stitch down, and that will cause it to lie down. This I've done two strands, so it's a little wider, but see, I increased about here, and then I just did 1 single crochet, and it just made it go fall down. That's how all beanies generally work. Alright, so now we've done 2 in this stitch and then 1 in the next 2, so that means we do the repeat now. So we're going to do 2 double in this next stitch, 1, up, 2, and now we do 2 DCs and then 1 DC in the next 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and then a DC increase in the next stitch. And you want to do that all the way around. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So do that and we'll meet at the end. So I'm at the end here with only 2 more stitches. Just like I said in the last row, you always want to end matching. So since I did 2 double and 1 here, I need to make sure that I have 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches open here. So if you have 2 doubles here or 2 doubles here, then you might be off. So you could just go back and double check. So let's do these last 2 stitches here and then slip stitch the round together. Alright, Alright, so there we go with round 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's go to round 5. Now round 5 is just going to be just like these last two, but we're going to add one more stitch like I explained. So you're going to do, let's go up one more. 1, 2, and then put that stitch. Oh, hold on, it's a little hard to get in right now. Just kind of push it through. So now we got the 2 doubles. And now we're going to do in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we work the repeat. And remember what I said what the repeat is anything in the parentheses. So here we are, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Then you do it again. And you repeat it till the end. So now we've done 3, and then so now we gotta do our increase in the next stitch. So that means 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And then, oops. And then 1, 2, and 3. Now this is just a simple beanie. Nothing very special here. It's a very good beginner beanie. It's good to learn how to do rounds like this, because if you're going to make anything that's, you know, like a Pokeball or doll or anything like that, you'll generally do, well, you'll do these increases just like this. So it's good to have a basis. Once you master this, you'll be able to do pretty much anything. Alright, so now let's do the repeat. 2 in the next stitch, and then 1 double in the next 3 stitches. Alright, so y'all do that all the way around. 1, 2, 3, and I will meet y'all at the end. So at the end with 3 more stitches to do. So let's do those last 3 single. So this will be a good time to check your hat. Make sure that, like I said, depending on what hook size you use, if you're using or size of your head, if your head's pretty small, then just go back a row. So instead of doing the row we just did, you would just do 1 single all the way around. So if you have a bigger head or a smaller hook, then just keep adding a row. I'm going to check mine and see how wide it is to see if I need to do another one. I'm pretty sure it should be pretty good. Yes, see there? It's about 6.5 and 7, which is where we need it to be. So once you have the hat top as wide as you need it to be, we are going to just do 1 single crochet all the way down. And typically what you want is about 14 rows altogether, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to typically about have around 15. So maybe add 7 more rows or something. Like I said, also depends on your hook size. If you have a smaller one, obviously you're going to need more rows. If you're using a bigger one like I am, you're going to need less rows. It's always best just to put on the hat and see if it's comfortable. But I will do 1 row so you know exactly what I mean. It's going to be pretty simple from here on out. You just do 1 in each stitch. And that's it. You just go all the way around and you put 1 single crochet, or 1 double, I'm sorry, in each stitch all the way around until you have the desired length that you would like. What this will do is it will cause it to, see how it will cause it to kind of come up, which will be in any project you do with rounds. like I said with my doll head, you know, I just keep doing the increases until I had it as wide as I wanted, and then all I did was one single crochet in each of the stitches going down. Of course here I added some more doubles to make it more puffy, give her a little more cheeks and stuff like that, but just imagine it, oh, like this. There's a little hat I made her. See, I made it round, and then I just did one stitch in each, making it lay down. Other than this bottom one here, I did some decreases to make it look more rounder and give it a little more like a little ice cream thing. That's basically how a hat would be, a beanie, so it lays all down. So you just want to, like I said, just do a single crochet or a double crochet all the way around. So then once you get to the end, just slip stitch it, chain 2, 1 double crochet in each stitch, and then slip stitch, chain 2, all the way to the end. This is, like I said, just a simple beanie. At the end you can, you know, add cat ears to it, or, you know, put a puff ball on top and everything, and you know, you can start being able to play around with it. Once you're done, you know, just tighten this up again, and then we are going to, I've showed in my last video how to sew in ends, but I will show how to do it on a round real quick. So you get your yarn needle and you work it through. Now you could also, while you've been working on this, I have a previous video to show you how to switch colors, so you can have each row a different color. If you do that, then what I suggest is when you cut your yarn, so like say you cut your yarn here and you have your extra yarn here, just kind of hold it and then work around it. And what that will do is that will work in your loose yarn within your project. I will have a video on how to explain how to do that later on. Okay, so what we're going to do is now you got your string, make sure it's as tight as you want it. And you see what you want to do is go through, just kind of push it through, just like that, and just kind of go all the way around with it, which I'm not going to do it with this one because I do want to use this yarn for a different project. I was just using it as an example, but you just want to push it all the way through around, and then to make it extra secure, what I do is I go around with one so it catches, and then I push it through. I can't get it through right now. So go around, there you go, and just push it through. Make sure there's one stitch there, so that way when you pull it, it grabs your yarn. And then at the end, you just cut it. And it becomes really hard to see. But like I said, I want to use this for later projects, so I'm not going to close it. If you mess up, all you got to do is pull just like this, and that will unravel your yarn so you can fix whatever mistake you have. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section, and please like and share my videos for anybody who would like to learn how to crochet. And happy crocheting! Thank you!